What's this? What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair. What is this?
Oh, hi. Hello. Welcome. So kind of you to join me.
Make a wish and let your dreams take flight. Oh, to please grab your hat, wave flying, it'll be a delight. Open up your eyes to the magical skies, so full of wonder, fun, adventure, a jolly grand time. Are you ready for another story time? Delira and Xera, Turkey, take a little sparkling old time.
Hi. Well, hello there, my little friends.
Hello everybody!
Whoa, well look who came in to visit us today.
Hello everybody!
Oh, Santa.
Oh yes!
Who is it, guys? That's right, it's Santa. Santa, do you remember? Do you remember when I came into the land of Christmas and tried to spread Christmas cheer?
I surely do, Jack. I appreciated your intentions, but Halloween is your place. You're the Pumpkin King.
That's right, and now I finally have snow in my land.
Well, maybe your friends would like to hear this story. Why don't you tell them?
Great idea. Are you ready for a magical, spooky story? Let's get started. Welcome back to our Amigos and Flamingos book club. So good to see you again, my little friends. You are exceptionally lucky today. Santa came to visit me, us, and I have an awesome story about both Christmas and Halloween. Two of my favorite holidays in one book. But first, let's see who our author of the week and the author of this wonderful book is. This stunning author doesn't really need an introduction. Tim Burton is a famous director, screenwriter, producer, writer, and animator. We all know at least one of his stories. What are you doing?
Nothing.
I'm gonna leave that in there. We all know at least one of his stories, such as Sweeney Todd, Corpse Bride, and of course, Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh my gosh. Tim Burton in an interview states that Halloween is one of his favorite holidays. The spirit of this day is not in fact to frighten others, rather it is to make them have fun with their own monstrosity. He drew inspiration from a poem that he wrote himself in 1982 with the same title as the book. As a reference for the setting, he used his own town, Burbank, which hardly ever had a winter climate. And since it didn't really snow, there wasn't really a Christmas atmosphere, ever. Burton's works stand out and are so popular because of their versatility, making them enjoyable for both adults and children. The author incorporates characters that reflect our society. The weird.
The weird.
The isolated.
The isolated.
Or simply different people.
Or simply different people.
Many forced to feel lonely because of the way they are constantly rejected. Just like Jack. Just like me. But where were we?
You were going to tell them about the time you tried to be the Christmas King.
Ah, right. Are you ready? Get cozy and open up your ears for today's adventure. But first, Santa, do you know what time it is?
It's time for another book review and story time with Gilbert-Ian.
The Nightmare Before Christmas, written and illustrated by Tim Burton. It was late one fall in Halloween land, and the air had quite a chill. Against the moon a skeleton sat, alone upon a hill. He was tall and thin with the bat bow tie. Jack Skellington was his name. He was tired and bored in Halloween land. Everything was always the same. I'm sick of the scaring, the terror, the fright. I'm tired of being something that goes bump in the night. I'm bored with leering my horrible glances, and my feet hurt from dancing those skeleton dances. I don't like graveyards, and I need something new. There must be more to life than just yelling boo! Then out of the grave with a curl and a twist came a whimpering, whining, spectral mist. It was a little ghost dog with a faint little bark and a jack-o'-lantern nose that glowed in the dark. It was Jack's dog Zero, the best friend he had. But Jack hardly noticed, which made Zero sad. All that night and through the next day, Jack wandered and walked. He was filled with dismay. Then deep in the forest, just before night, Jack stumbled upon an amazing sight. Not 20 feet from the spot where he stood were 3 massive doorways carved in wood. He stood before them completely in awe, his gaze transfixed by one special door. Entranced and excited with a slight sense of worry, Jack opened the door to a white wind flurry. Jack didn't know it, but he'd fallen down in the middle of a place called Christmas Town. Immersed in the light, Jack was no longer haunted. He had finally found the feeling he wanted. And so that his friends wouldn't think him a liar, he took the present-filled stockings that hung by the fire. He took candy and toys that were stacked on the shelves, and a picture of Santa with all of his elves. He took a picture of you and a picture of your elves? Is that true?
Yes, it is.
He took lights and ornaments and the star from the tree. And from the Christmas Town sign, he took the big letter C. He picked up everything that sparkled or glowed. He even picked up a handful of snow. He grabbed it all, and without being seen, he took it all back to Halloween. What do you have to say about that, Santa Claus?
That's wild.
Back in Halloween, a group of Jack's peers stared in amazement at his Christmas souvenirs. For this wondrous vision, none were prepared. Most were excited, though a few were quite scared. For the next few days, while it lightened and thundered, Jack sat alone and obsessively wondered. Why is it that they spread laughter and cheer, while we stalk the graveyard, spreading panic and fear? Well, I could be Santa, and I could spread cheer. Why does he get to do it year after year? Outraged by injustice, Jack thought and he thought. Then he got an idea. Yes? Yes? Why not? In Christmas Town, Santa was making some toys. When through the din, he heard a soft noise. He answered the door, and to his surprise, he saw weird little creatures in strange disguise. They were altogether ugly and rather petite. As they opened their sacks, they yelled, "Trick or treat!" Then a confused Santa was shoved into a sack and taken to Halloween to see Mastermind Jack.
Whoa.
They put you in a sack.
Oh, that's crazy, isn't it?
And they dragged you to Halloween land.
Oh, my.
What are they going to do to you, Santa?
I hope they don't eat me.
In Halloween, everyone gathered once more, for they'd never seen a Santa before. And as they cautiously gazed at the strange old man, Jack related to Santa his masterful plan.
My dear Mr. Claus, I think it's a crime that you've got to be Santa all of the time.
Right.
But now I will give presents and I will spread cheer. We're changing places. I'm Santa this year.
Never.
It is I who will say Merry Christmas to you.
Never.
So you may lie in my coffin, creak doors, and yell boo.
Boo.
And please, Mr. Claus, don't think ill of my plan.
Of course I will.
For I'll do my best Santa job that I can.
Oh.
And though Jack and his friends thought they'd do a good job, their idea of Christmas was still quite macabre. They were packed up and ready on Christmas Eve day, when Jack hitched his reindeer to his sleek coffin sleigh. But on Christmas Eve, as they were about to begin, a Halloween fog slowly rolled in. Jack said, "We can't leave. This fog's just too thick. There will be no Christmas, and I can't be Saint Nick." Then a small glowing light pierced through the fog. What could it be? It was Zero, Jack's dog. "Zero, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" And to be so needed was Zero's great dream. So he joyfully flew to the head of the team. And as the skeletal sleigh started its ghostly flight, Jack cackled, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
'Twas the nightmare before Christmas.
And all through the house, not a creature was peaceful, not even a mouse. The stockings all hung by the chimney with care, when opened that morning would cause quite a scare. The children all nestled so snug in their beds would have nightmares of monsters and skeleton heads. The moon that hung over the new fallen snow cast an eerie pall over the city below. And Santa Claus's laughter now sounded like groans, and the jingling bells like chattering bones. And what to their wondering eyes should appear but a coffin sleigh with skeleton deer? And the skeleton driver so ugly and sick, they knew in a moment, this can't be Saint Nick. From house to house, with a true sense of joy,
Jack happily issued each present and toy.
From rooftop to rooftop he jumped and he skipped, leaving presents that seemed to be straight from a crypt. Unaware that the world was in panic and fear, Jack merrily spread his own brand of cheer. He visited the house of Susie and Dave. They got a Gumby and Pokey from the grave. Then onto the home of little Jane Neiman, she got a baby doll possessed by a demon. A monstrous train with tentacle tracks. A ghoulish puppet wielding an axe. A man-eating plant disguised as a wreath. And a vampire teddy bear with very sharp teeth. There were screams of terror, but Jack didn't hear it. He was much too involved with his own Christmas spirit. Jack finally looked down from his dark starry frights and saw the commotion, the noise, and the light. While they're celebrating, it looks like such fun. They're thanking me for the good job that I've done. But what he thought were fireworks meant as goodwill were bullets and missiles intended to kill. Then amidst the barrage of artillery fire, Jack urged Zero to go higher and higher. And away they all flew like the storm of a thistle until they were hit by a well-guided missile. And as they fell on the cemetery, way out of sight, was heard, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Jack pulled himself up on a large stone cross, and from there he reviewed his incredible loss. I thought I could be Santa. I had such belief. Jack was confused and filled with great grief. Not knowing where to turn, he looked toward the sky. Then he slumped on the grave and he started to cry. And as Zero and Jack lay crumpled on the ground, they suddenly heard a familiar sound.
My dear Jack, said Santa, I applaud your intent. I know wreaking such havoc was not what you meant. And so you are sad and feeling quite blue. But taking over Christmas was the wrong thing to do. I hope you realize Halloween's the right place for you. There's a lot more, Jack, that I'd like to say. But now I must hurry, for it's almost Christmas Day.
Then he jumped in his sleigh, and with a wink of an eye, he said,
Merry Christmas!
And he bid them goodbye. Back at home, Jack was sad. But then, like a dream, Santa brought Christmas to the land of Halloween. What an unforgettable story! This story can be interpreted in so many different ways. But the main lessons, boys and girls, are two, or dos. The first is the importance of being yourself. We mustn't try to conform to any character that doesn't belong to us. Jack gets tired of being the Pumpkin King, and it's totally okay to have a desire to explore new things and other worlds. Those experiences will help him to discover himself, eventually becoming part of him. The second important lesson is about appearances. Because even though Jack and the other residents of Halloween's land may seem scary and evil, they're not. That's just their nature. They are meant to scare people on Halloween, but really wouldn't harm anyone. As you can see in the book, Jack spreads Christmas cheer in his own way, and he only wants to be happy and do something different. It is a beautiful way to express the concept of diversity because even if something appears as unpleasant and or out of the ordinary, it can actually hide a sensitive and noble soul. In fact, at the end of the story, Jack understands his mistakes and returns to his land. And once again, it reminds us that we needn't try to look different. We should embrace ourselves just as we are.
I have to say, I really enjoyed the story.
Me too! With its bizarre, gothic, and contemporary characters, Tim Burton has revolutionized the world of children's books, bringing new incredible illustrations and making even the spooky ones enjoyable and funny. Thank you so much for joining us today. I cannot wait to see you in the new year, in 2021, where we will have a lot of great books that we will explore together. Until then, my beautiful amigos and flamingos, keep on reading because reading is fundamental. And until then, stay safe, stay humble, stay kind, and always stay true to yourself. Virtual hugs for you all.
Well, I gotta go, Jack. I have lots of gifts to drop off for everyone. Help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered.
Are you leaving already?
Yes, Jack.
Oh no, don't leave. Okay, well.
I have to go. I'm getting old and time to go.
Is that for me? Is that my present?
Yeah, this is for you right here. Have this, please, and enjoy it.
Okay, so. Oh, can I go with you, please?
No,
May I
not again.
May I please go with you to give gifts?
Please. We've talked about it.
Please.
Okay, come on.
Oh, yeah. Alright, guys, bye. Gotta go.
Oh, do please grab your hat, we're flying, it'll be a delight. Open up your eyes to the magical skies. so full of wonder, fun, adventure, oh, jolly grand time.